number so I can call. I have to go an extra step. I have to do an extra step in everything I do because I can't physically see. But even though I can't physically see, does not stop me. You know, you have sight, but you stop. I said this morning to the people I coach, I've got about 10 calls for them this week. 10 calls. And tomorrow is what I love, is Training Day Tuesday. And I'm going to talk to them about 3 situations that happened last week with agents that the people said they were going to get the listing and they ended up not getting it. And I'm going to tell them why tomorrow. There's a reason. So they will not make that same mistake again. So many of you out there in real estate continue to make the same mistakes day after day, week after week, and year after year. Another call this week is about me criticizing. First of all, I'm not criticizing. I'm trying to help you. But you take it personal. This isn't personal, it's business. So when I'm telling you something you've done wrong, you've messed up on a contract, you messed up on a listing, you messed up somewhere, I'm not telling you because of what you did. I'm trying to tell you for the future to not do that again, but do it this way. That's called training, not criticizing. I don't criticize. But see, a lot of people take things personal. It's nothing personal. It's business. It's to make your business better. You know, so many times when that person finally understood, Andrew is trying to help me. Let me say that again. Andrew is trying to help me. Get it through your head. I've said many times, my first 20 years is who I am. My nurturing. Where I went to school, where I went to church, where I grew up. You know, grew up on a farm, grew up on a gravel road. Grew up and had 3 friends. Grew up without TV for 7 or 8 years. Grew up and didn't go on vacation for 7 or 8 years. Yesterday, I had a cousin, a distant cousin. She was 90, 95. And I was thinking, if it had not been for her and her husband, Maud Collier, and her husband, she was a doctor, a pediatrician. He was a lawyer. They had a house at Lake Martin in Alabama. And do you know that we got to go on vacation because they would invite my mom and dad and the 3 boys to come down there for a week. My dad couldn't afford. We couldn't afford to go on vacation. Some of you can't afford to go on vacation either, but you take a vacation in your mind every day. You take a vacation in for your week. You could vacation the rest of your life if you got right with the program and got right to what to do and came in every day for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years. You know, I'm going this week to Northern Virginia, and there's a guy named Peter Strasberg who I met 10 years ago. Peter had been in real estate 19, 20 years. Peter came up to me after the program, that first time he met me, he said, if I'd have met you 10 years ago, I'd be retired. And I said, actually, you would. But I said, Peter, I can still help you. He joined coaching. I worked with him 3, 4, 5 years. His wife got dementia, started to have Alzheimer's. He got out of the program and they started going up and down the coast. He had a boat and they would go up the Intercoastal Waterway and they'd call me from Florida and they'd call me from different places. What's wrong? Somebody just walked in my office, I felt. I'm sorry. But if they hadn't, but Peter said to me, Andrew, I have a great life because of you for those 5 years, 4 or 5 years I worked with you. You know, can I ask you to do me a favor? Please, this will help you. Go to my YouTube channel and find, I don't know which one, what it's called, but it's a guy named Ted Murlock who just made a video. And he's sitting out on a dock or on a boat. I can't see, I can hear the water. And he had lost everything in 2008. And he had been one of the most successful developers in the world. He flew around with Phil Mickelson. And he was putting in like 3 new golf courses or tow golf courses and developing this land, and the market crashed and he lost everything but his house. In 2012, he showed up. And he came up to me and said, I'm supposed to be here today. I wonder how many of you, if you showed up and watched, you opened your eyes and really saw what's going on not in the world, but saw you could see what I'm trying to give you? What if you could open your eyes and see what Andrew has? So many people have showed up, but very few people see the opportunity. See, most of you will never see the opportunity that in this industry called real estate, you have an opportunity to make $10,000 to $20,000 a day. That's not fiction, that's fact. I can prove it to any person. I can sit down and show you. You have an opportunity. How many of you miss out on the opportunity each day, each week, each month, each year, because you're looking at something you shouldn't be looking at, and you should see what I'm trying to give you? How many of you don't hear what I'm really saying? You hear what you want, but not what I'm trying to really give you to change your life. See, I didn't say change your day, your check, your income, your life. This program can do that. But this man got in the program, and after 8 years, his wife got cancer, and he started taking care of her, and she passed away a few months ago, this year. I went to the funeral. But listen to his story on how he got back up and has now a retirement that most people would love to have. He just paid cash for a house. He's moving from Lake Hartwell. He's been his whole life. He sold his lake house, and he's going to be moving to Nashville to be closer to his grandchildren. All because I gave him that vision to say, hey, you lost everything, but we can get it back. You know, I said he lost everything but his house. A year or two into the program, on a Saturday, they barbecued, and on Sunday morning, their house was burnt to the ground. They were able to get out of the house with their dog, and they lost everything. And actually, he called me on that Monday. His coaching call was on a Tuesday, and he said, I need a really good coaching call on Tuesday morning. And I said, Ted, what's up? He said, I'll tell you about it. I said, no, you never call me ahead of time. Something's wrong, tell me. And he said, our house burnt down. His house burnt down. He lost everything. I need a really good call tomorrow. Now, let me show you what greatness is like. I spent that afternoon and evening thinking about how can I help this man get back on his feet. Do you ever sit there and think, how can I help this seller get their home sold? Or how I can help my business to get better? How I can change to have more? Do you ever sit down and think of that? But I sat at this desk. Tuesday morning, his calls are at 7 or 8 when I did individual calls. I said, Ted, I don't know when you're going to go back to work. I don't know if you're going to go back to work today or tomorrow or Thursday, Friday, or next week. But when you go back, here's what I want you to do. When you call someone, I want you to call them. I don't know if you can see me or not, but I want you to call them because I got to stand up when I role play. Like you should be standing up when you call somebody. You should always stand up. I said, when you call them, say, beep. Good morning, it's Ted Murlock with So-and-so Real Estate. I hope you're having a great day. I've actually had better days. Becky and our home burnt down on Lake Hartwell this past weekend. And I'm just trying to get back in the flow of things. So if you would be kind enough to call me back and just let me come out and take a look at your home, I'd be so appreciative because that would help me to get back up on my feet and get going. Now, what I said, I told him to use his wife's name. Becky and our home burnt down. He used personal. Our home burnt down. Becky and our home burnt down. The other thing I said, give them the location. Our home burnt down. Not in Anderson. Our home burnt down on Lake Hartwell. And I forgot to say, we're all fine. Our dog and we got out okay. And I'm just trying to get back in the flow. And if you'd be kind enough to just call me and let me come out and take a look at your home, that would help me to get back up and get going. That was on a Tuesday. Thursday morning, he picked up the appointment. Thursday morning, he picked the phone up and he said, 2 appointments on Thursday, 2 appointments on Friday, 2 appointments on Monday, 2 appointments on Tuesday. He set 8 appointments in 4 days, and he went out and got 4 listings. Why? Because I said the right things to him. When you're ready, we can get back up. Now, I didn't tell you the rest of his coaching call, but I gave him the proper scripts, the proper sentence, the right words. See, it was words. This is where everyone today is lost. They're trying to use everything but words, everything but their brain. I don't care what artificial intelligence done. Artificial intelligence will never write a letter like I write. I still write notes. I can't stay on the line. I have to keep writing so I don't, if I stop and try to start back, I can't because I can't see where to start. But see, I start every day. And I don't stop till I finish. Do you start and stop in the program? Do you start and stop when you're calling someone? Do you start and stop when you're thinking about what you're going to say when you go out there? Do you start or do you finish what you're going to do? What a great change that would be. Finish what you start, and you all could be wealthy. Wealthy. People like to say a few years ago, well, this worked in the 90s, but it will not work today. It actually works better today than in the 90s because of all the stuff and all the people are trying to do everything in real estate except talk to people. Let's text them. Texting, I said last week or 2 weeks ago, texting is easier than calling. Email is easier than writing. Sending them paperwork instead of going to see them, that's easier. But it's not better. Don't you want to do the things that are better? Not just for you, but for your clients. But don't you want to do things that are better and not easier for your family? Your family would have an easier life if you got better at the things to help you to have a better income. And we're not talking adding 10,000 a year or 20 or 30. We're talking about 100,000 you can increase this year. 100,000 the next year, 100,000 the next year, 100,000. See, there's no other, if you work for anyone, you can't give yourself a raise every year of 100,000. But in real estate, you can. And why am I so adamant about change? Because for 8 years, I made less than $50,000. For 8 years. But then I decided to change. Can I give you a change? Can somebody read me another paragraph? Would you mind doing that? Anybody out there? Is anybody out there? Guess not. Can you read this paragraph for me? That's the fourth one.
You do not have to promise.
Andrew, I'm here.
Wait a second. Who's that? Jenny?
Yes.
Okay. You do not have to promise the world. How about that?
You do not have to promise the world to your clients to gain their business. You should simply rely on your commitment to their needs and gain their confidence in your abilities. You need to remember that you're not desperate to have anyone's business because you can always generate more potential clients. There are more great prospects than you could possibly do business with.
Thank you, Jenny. Jenny, did I change your life?
More than you will ever know, Andrew.
More than I will ever know. See, let me tell you, when I met Jenny, she was in a RE/MAX office in a small town, in a small office, and she was the only person sitting there. And I walked in and was bold enough to say, I'm going to change your life. And she thought I was crazy. You know what? I'm crazy enough to think that I can get up every day and change someone's life. But she just said that book says there are more. What if you changed the 7 beliefs to always have business? What if you started to change, I'd like to try to play something real quick. Bear with me. Alexa, continue. I used this morning. Alexa, next. Alexa, next. Alexa, next. We'll get there in a minute. How many of you come in every morning? How many of you come in the morning and you're dragging? You're depressed. You're sad. You're tired. You have no business. And you're just barely hanging on. How many are you like that? Alexa, next. How many of you come in like this? This is how I come in every day. Even on days I don't feel like it. I click, I flip that switch. Alexa, pause. You know what I do? I get in that shower and flip that switch. Because I say it's going to be a great day. I say someone needs my help today. I say I'm the best person to help someone today. And it changes everything. That's why it's called the 7 things that can change everything. The 7 most important beliefs that can change everything. What did she just say? There are more great prospects. See, most people operate on, there's not, go back to the other song, there's not enough business. But actually, there's more great prospects you can possibly do business with. No today does not mean no tomorrow. Someone needs my help today. I already said that one. You know, it's really, I said this morning at 7:30. You know what I said? If you would focus your learning on your attitude and your mindset to get it better, to change it, to really change it, change. When are you going to change? Are you always going to be like you are? Or are you going to get better? And the other is skills. And that's what made me a multi-millionaire. That's what made these people that are in the program multi-millionaires. I didn't say thousandaires. I didn't say selling $1 million worth of real estate. I'm talking about $1 million in income. And people can't see it. Woo! People can't hear it. Woo! You know what they're listening to? The wrong people. I said this morning, quit listening to that person that's telling you your problems because they got 10 times more. But they'd rather point out what you're doing wrong instead of looking at their own self. Is that you? Are you looking at others or are you looking at yourself? Look at yourself in the mirror and make that change. Michael Jackson. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm willing to make that change. That's what changed my life. I was in the same city. I was with the same company. But I changed. What I thought, what I said, what I did, what I thought. What do you think each day? What do you say to yourself each day? Do you say it's going to be a great day? Most people are defeated before they ever get to the office. If you really could understand, if I could breathe one bit of information that you are in the greatest industry that's ever been. And it doesn't matter if interest rates are high or low. It doesn't matter what the National Association of Realtors is going through. It doesn't matter what the country is going through. It just matters what you do. And go through the fire of times when times are tough, to keep going. Not to quit, not to give up. You know, that's where I come in. When you fall down, all I want to do is lift you back up. All you got to do is stick your hand out and I'll pull you back up. I'll pull you. I want you to achieve greatness. I don't want you to be average. You don't want to be average. Please don't want to be average in real estate. You know, it's not one person in the sound of my voice that can't be great if they decide to change. Will you read the next paragraph?
The first step in becoming a successful agent is to commit to acting instead of being acted upon. Be proactive, Take the initiative. Decide each day to actively seek new business and conduct it in the manner you choose. By completing the following worksheet, you will begin to shift your career and your life to an easier and more productive style.
To shift your life, to shift your business and your life to an easier and more productive style. You know, there's not one person that's ever become successful that said, wow, this is so much easier than what I was doing. This is so much more better. This is so much better. I get to work less and make more. Who wouldn't want that? You know, this was the last chapter I wrote in my book because I had to transition from being broke and not having a business to what was the difference? I became proactive. I quit being a traditional agent, waiting for someone to hand over that referral every now and then. I became proactive. Each day, I was actively seeking new business. Do you know what's not changed in 42 years? Tomorrow morning, I have a stack of papers right here. I'm going to actively seek new business tomorrow morning. Again, see, I'm going to do a program, and even if no one shows up other than coaching people, I will be a success because of what I did each day this week. You know, so let's talk about that program this week is a closing. And nobody showed up for the closing. Well, that's going to happen in your life. But see, that driving 8 hours to go to that closing, and it doesn't, I made that 8 hours work because I got on the phone and called someone and said, would you consider letting me help you today? I have a couple of ways that I'd love to talk to you about helping you. What if you did that every day? The days that you have a closing, the days you have a listing presentation, the days you are negotiating the contract, the days, even though you got those things going on, if every morning you were actively seeking new business, you're going to have more negotiations, you're going to have more presentations, and you're going to have more closings, which is going to give you more money. Andrew, is it really that simple? Actually, it is. I always say this is simple. It's just not easy to do it by yourself because most people won't hold themselves accountable each day to doing the right things. Most people won't hold themselves accountable each day for being up or putting that smile on their face. So that's why I started doing a coaching call every day 5 years ago. Every day. So that person that may not come to work on Friday, they get on that phone Friday morning and they hear me and they say, oh my goodness, I'm juiced, I'm ready, I'm excited, I'm going to go to the office. And around 12 or 1 o'clock, they call me that day and say, hey coach, I wasn't going to go to work today, but I got on the call and I went to work and I got 3 appointments. I got arthritis in this hand. I got 3 appointments this morning. Guys, I got arthritis, but I still write. I'm blind, 97% blind, but I still go forward. Can I ask you a question? What's your excuse? You know what you should say? I don't have one. I don't have an excuse, boss. I don't have an excuse, Andrew. I don't have an excuse. But I do have a reason to get up, and that reason is this program. That reason is this opportunity. That reason is I can change forever how much money that I have, wealth. You know, you think you might know how it feels never to have to think about money, but you really, truly don't. I sent out a coaching call yesterday, Sunday. I came in, recorded it, and sent it out about the value of money. Money will never make you happy, but money allows you to do things most people will never be able to do. This business allows you to have money that most people never have. This program allows you to make more money than 99% of all agents will ever have. With that being said, what are you going to change before next week? Don't hesitate to call me and tell me what you're going to change. And I might have a suggestion or two. Don't hesitate. He who hesitates is lost. Don't be lost. Let me shine the light. Shine the light on you. Shine the light out there for you so you can see better. Hey, if you need anything, call me 864-909-1258. Hey, by the way, that's my personal number. Don't be sharing that with anybody. Actually, share it with the world. One thing I try to get up each day is share to have a greater world for you. This is an incredible world. It's an incredible business. But most of all, I want you to have an incredible life. I want you to be able to live it fully. And when I say you can work less and have more, that's one of those facts. Have a great day. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. Call me if you need me. Bye-bye.